Yes.
Alright, I'm in the ad on your just on the one thing. Oh shit, I should probably grab my earbuds. Give me 1 second.
Alright. This looks like a good thumbnail. I'll just use this. Nope, I gotta do it this way. It's so weird, this AI stuff.
Okay. You're on my earbud.
Can I show you this? Are you in my screen share?
Give me 1 second. Cool.
Can I show you this? Can you my screen share? Are you in my screen share? Can I show you this?
Are you saying that right now?
Yeah, to you.
Okay.
Can I show you this?
I'm in the screen share. I can still see the...
What the hell is with these AI thumbnails? Look at this. Look at this. What is this?
Why?
Why are there so many AI thumbnails? Look at this. Hold on, let me go find it. Look. That one's that one's kind of rough. I'm trying to think, let's see, which one's more convincing? This one's funny.
Oh, and it's funny.
Oh my god. But it's just hilarious, these thumbnails. Alright, let's go back to the episode. Cool. Chat. Hello, I'm here. Wait, that didn't happen. No! I'm looking at all the AI thumbnails that people come up with. Which they are like wild with them. It's definitely going to be changing from the books, especially if Helena flies. I'm not sure if she will, though.
Yeah, just because Damon says it. Or not Damon, Aemond.
It could be misdirection.
True.
But yeah, I would love to see her dragon. So this was definitely a way better episode than the last 2 weeks. Last week's wasn't like awful, but it wasn't that. It was mid. First, the one before it was bad.
Yes.
This one was a good episode.
I enjoyed this episode.
I think it's because there wasn't as much Harrenhal this episode.
I would agree.
And there wasn't that much Alicent. Which is very good. Because I'm just so done with her complaining about being depressed. This one was a good setup episode. I'm very excited for next week to see where it is. I have some gripes, of course. The little girl that we have been watching died off screen, and they just say her name like with an afterthought. Like, why are they just like...
Wait, did they even say her name, or did they just go...
No, they never said her name, but it's like literally like why are they so afraid to show us people dying? How many?
Because also Blackwood off screen.
Oh yeah, It was. It, like, that was really good. But, like, why didn't they show us, like, actually... Like, why did they zoom in on Daemon's face? That was weird.
To avoid showing what was actually happening.
But this is Game of Thrones.
Yes, and we've seen maybe one death.
How many deaths have we seen this season?
We saw that one guy got set on fire.
Okay, we watched a lot of fires this episode, but I don't think they count. I don't think they count.
I'm not counting that.
We saw at least 2 people get eaten. At least 2. One got chomped and then spit out. Yeah, we've seen people be beheaded so much. I got away from that. I felt super bad for him, though, because he was doing what was told of him, but Daemon did tell him, don't get caught. But, yeah, I'm very excited that Viserys came back in this episode. He did come back last episode, which was good. The problem is that they should have, like, literally put that in the place of the episode where he was sleeping with Viserys' wife and his mom, and just cut that all entirely, because I feel like people would be a lot happier. There were some weird directional decisions in these last 2 episodes. In general, with House of the Dragon, there's weird directional things. It's almost like they don't want to show violence at all, which is okay. But, like, this is also a bloody war, and it's literally...
Yeah, bloody war, it's part of the Game of Thrones.
Part of the Game of Thrones.
I really feel like they don't want to show...
They don't, it's so weird. Yeah, so the stuff at Harrenhal was actually good this episode. I really liked it. I really liked seeing the young Tully, Oscar Tully. By the way... do you know his, brothers' names?
Oh my god, you've told me, yeah.
Okay, do you know them?
I know they're, oh my gosh, like Sesame Street things.
They are Sesame Street names. So, his brother is, I know one of them is Elmo Tully, and I believe the other is Kermit Tully.
And then their father is, Grover.
Grover Tully. It's all... I really wish we could have seen Elmo Tully and Kermit Tully. That would have been so funny, but I don't think they're going to make mention to it because, of course, we can't have fun. We only have to have this very slow pace stuff. There was some pacing issues in this episode. Like, at one point, I just sped up because it was such a long, drawn-out, like, freeze scream on somebody. Like, it was just so long, and I'm like, this is so long, it needs to move.
Wait, sped up? I didn't even notice.
I sped up at the part where
you said some of these scenes are really long.
Yeah. Say, yes, they're Oscar, Grover, Elmo, and Kermit. Is there Bert and Ernie Tully? Maybe Big Bert Tully? No, there is not.
Yep, I just found his birth chart.
But I really like seeing young Oscar Tully. I know he's very important later, and I actually am very enjoying him. Let me go get to it.
Sorry, I lied. Apparently Grover is his great-grandfather.
This scene was very good.
His brother is Kermit. His grandfather, we don't know.
I just loved everybody in this scene just shading Daemon and, like, hardcore being like, yeah, we hate you. And just, that was, like, so funny in this scene. Like, when to cut. Yeah, they need to know when to cut because there was, like, such, like, long scenes. Like, why are we on this still? I think it was, like, the scene where he was walking towards Vermithor. That was a really long scene. And I can't remember which one I sped up at. But it was very long. Everyone was shaming Daemon and shading Daemon in this scene, and I absolutely loved it. I told Dee when we were watching it, I was like, we should have just had a whole season of Daemon adopting a kid.
Honestly, I would be here for it.
Him just.
Also, I think I told Damon that he needs to stop talking, like, at least 4 times. I was like, please, just stop.
Some of his, like, Luigi Mansion adventures should have taught him that he needs to shut up sometimes.
Think before you speak. I'm begging.
I loved when the old Stewart dude realized what was going on and was like, oh my. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? You know, the other good thing about this episode, there was no Alice Rivers this episode. Maybe that's why it was a good episode. We had the dream, but we had no Alice Rivers, which maybe that's why it was good. We did unfortunately have Massaria, which I've grown very tired of her, but she did give her a good idea with the bastards. Why that wasn't Rhaenyra's first idea, I don't know. Because obviously they're going to be a closer bloodline to it. Oscar Tolley's being a little boss man. He reminded me a lot of like Robb Stark in this scene.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why, but he just reminded me a lot of Robb Stark in this scene. Do you have anything you want to say about this scene at Harrenhal? Because we finally got a good Harrenhal scene. Besides, when Daemon first came to Harrenhal, it was really good cinematically, but it's been such awful. But this scene was really good, and I'm really happy that we are going to be finally getting out of Harrenhal.
I'm glad this kid came back. I'm glad he's absolutely unafraid to show spite towards Daemon.
Well, you know,
I'm glad we saw some of our old Daemon. Like, he wasn't just kind of like spaced out. He was actually like engaged in a conversation for once.
For real. He's been like...
That was great. Like, let him be engaged in conversations again, please. They're fun when he's engaged in them and he knows what's happening for the whole conversation.
Right. It's been...
Which hasn't happened this entire season.
Like, you know who the person he beheaded was, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that was for our chat, that was the person that came to get Rhaenyra's hand and killed a Bracken.
Yeah. Was that William Blackwood?
That was William Blackwood.
Okay. I knew it was a Blackwood, I just wanted to make sure it was William. William? I don't know.
I think it's Willem.
Willem Blackwood?
Willem Blackwood. They can't be fun like the Tullys. They can't be all Sesame Street characters, okay?
I did presume that everyone had an odd spelling in Game of Thrones, so I spelled Oscar with a K, and it turns out it's spelled normally, so...
No, this is...
I lost on that one.
Alright, what was the next major scene that we had after that? Let me go check. Oh! We had the scene where we saw Aegon trying to rewalk. Oh, well, we did have the scene with Viserys. We can't go over Viserys. Viserys is MVP and he is sorely missed this season. Very happy to see him back. We did see him back last weekend, but this is better because it's more new stuff. Last episode, we did see some new stuff with him where he was at Aemma's deathbed, and Daemon was there. Besides that, the other scene we had already seen before, except a little bit extended in different lighting. So I was very happy to see this. I think it was really good. Patty just always destroys every scene that he's in. Alright. So after that, we got them trying to help Aegon walk again and try to help him bring his strength back up. And in the books, this doesn't really happen. They say that he slept for, I believe, like a year, but everything in general is sped up really fast for House of the Dragon. But Yeah, I really liked this scene. I really like the addition of this scene. It definitely helps sow more conflict, I think. And I'm also just like really happy to see Aegon's actor Tom act more because I really love him. He's probably my MVP of the entire season. So he did really great acting. I know that doing those pain type scenes and doing like actual real reactions is very difficult. So it was a very good scene to see. And I don't know, like I don't know what his motive, Larys' motive could be with Aegon. Or is Patty's called to have the degraded makeup too? That's very interesting. I'm sure that was very difficult to do.
Yeah. But also, like, Patty definitely commits 100% to this.
So, what do you think Larys's motives could be with getting Aegon to better health?
Probably gaining his trust.
Well, yeah, but like, what is he gonna get out of it?
Um, um, I don't know, concern. He's already. No, never mind. Ignore that.
That's what I'm dead.
I almost said he's already the hand, but that's still Kristen Cole.
It's going to be Otto Hightower once they find wherever the hell he went to, because in the books he doesn't leave King's Landing.
I think Larys is trying to get him back up on the throne so he can manipulate him. I mean, yeah, I think so.
I mean, yeah, but what is it?
I am thinking there's maybe a degree of genuine sympathy there, though, as to the, like, his whole little thing about, like, we're both fucking cripples now.
Yeah, I definitely think there's some genuine sympathy.
So it's like, I think there might be, like, a degree of genuine emotion there for once, being like, okay, like, people are gonna look down on you, and that's, like, your greatest strength here.
It's really
Which is, like, last episode, that was kind of, I kind of describe it as, like, a weaker version of Tyrion's, like, little bastards, cripples, and broken things speech.
You did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I don't know what he could. What would he manipulate him to do? Because he has probably as much power as he can get. Also, yeah. Larys not telling Aemon about Silverwing came back to bite him in the butt, I feel like.
I mean, to be fair, even if it's not like necessarily about like what
it was Sea Smoke, not Silverwing. But yeah, I did you think that Larys actually believed that rumor, or do you think he thought it was a rumor? I feel like he might have thought it was a rumor.
Yeah.
But like he definitely probably investigated it afterwards.
Yeah, I think that he would be
either way, I think he wants to take out Aemond. So
I agree. And that's what I was about to say actually, is I think that even if he doesn't necessarily have anything to gain from getting Aegon on the throne, Aegon's a hell of a lot easier to manipulate than Aemond is. So he definitely wants to get Aegon back up there ASAP because
it's just like I'm trying to.
He doesn't keep his utility to Aemond, he's dead.
Because like he doesn't want the Iron Throne, so like because that's the thing is like Littlefinger really wanted the Iron Throne, so he's basically got as high as he could go as Master of Whispers. Is he still the Master of Whispers under Aemond? Yes, he is. So he's basically as high as he can go. I mean, I don't think he's being genuine, but I'd like to think he is. I don't know. I just don't know his motives.
Look, there's potentially like some grayness to it. Like, yeah, he definitely wants to manipulate him, but I think there probably is a degree of sympathy there too. And it's like, just because there's the sympathy doesn't mean he won't, like, you know, use him and manipulate the hell out of him. But
And this is also why, when I was talking to you earlier, why I said they're going to have to change things in the show versus the books, because they're putting so much emphasis on this type stuff. And this kind of stuff really comes to fruition post Rhaenyra, post what happens at the conclusion of the war. So there's definitely going to be some changes, which I don't mind. We saw a fun scene between, oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Alan of Hall and, oh my god, what is his name? Corlys. Basically just establishing that he is going to be not trying to claim a dragon. That's not accurate with the books. They both tried to claim a dragon. There's a lot of changes between Edom of Hall and Alan of Hall in the books versus the series, which I personally don't see is a huge issue. I know other people who are like purists, I guess, take issue with the fact that they don't really have Targaryen blood in them because Corlys is their father. But for me, I'm like, I don't know. It's just, it doesn't bother me per se, because I could see it like, okay, well, maybe back in the timeline there was like a sliver of it. I don't know.
Targaryen houses that have been intermarrying for what I've
no, but they haven't
in a hot minute.
No.
So like there's probably never mind, I lied.
No, they haven't.
I don't know as much about their.
It's been a while.
Okay.
So yeah, because in the books there was no clear like who the father was. It could have been. I don't know. It could have been. They say it could be. Corlys, or it could be Rhaenyra's first husband. That I am blanking on his name as well. They didn't know who the father was, which I'm glad that there's transparency with it, but it causes some continuance there. There's a few continuity errors in this. I know that George R. R. Martin threw a fit about the dragon being in the Vale because it doesn't make any sense, and there's a very long blog post on his Not a Blog website about it, which I understand, but I don't mind the cutting of who she will probably take of their spot. But I have an idea. I have a thought. I mean, City Smoke might think Adam is Laenor.
The dragon bond.
Is he gonna be? Wait, are we saying that Sea Smoke is racist?
Disregard the dragon bond.
I thought that at first too, but like that doesn't make sense. Bad Sea Smoke. I thought it was funny, and I wish they could give the dragons a little bit more personality, but they are giving them some. But I feel like,
for example, Sunfire, puppy.
Sunfire is a puppy. I love Sunfire. Sea Color. The Sea Smoke literally sought him out in the last episode.
And then played tag.
More like hide and seek, I guess. We have this scene with Jace and Rhaenyra, and what are your thoughts of the scene? Because I kind of told you my thoughts during the episode.
I do understand Jace's point of view. That basically being like, this is the only security I have in my claim to being your heir. Like, I have dark hair. Like, everyone's been calling me a bastard since I was born. Like, this is all I have. tying me to like being your son and your heir is the fact that I can ride a dragon, and that's the only reason that people aren't questioning me, and you're opening the door to an army of dragon riding bastards, which is the last claim I have of legitimacy. So it's like I definitely get him being upset about it, but it's also like what other choice do you want made? Because
Yeah, I definitely
if you
understand
don't have
that.
someone else. It's like if you don't have someone riding the dragons, house like the blacks are so disadvantaged that it's like there's not really another choice here.
Yeah,
It's like he's also like what? He's
20.
18, I think. 20.
He said 20 years.
He's 20.
I believe that's what he said in this scene. If I
That's not
mute
right.
it might not be
Not-
it.
He's 20. Um, still young.
Yeah.
He's probably thinking more emotionally here for sure. Um, I don't know what else he expected her to do.
Yeah, let me see. I think he says 20.
Rhaenyra said something about 20 years with her boys.
Yeah.
I'll believe he's 20.
Oh my gosh. When he said when you took Harren Strong into your bed, did you think I might favor him? I like died. I'm like, oh my god, he's going there.
You think I would have dark hair when you took Harlan Strong into your bed? Do you think I might favor him?
So here's the thing. Not all Targaryens have silver hair. Actually, Rhaenys was not supposed to have silver hair. She had dark hair. But in order to keep this plot point relevant,
she was.
In order to keep this plot point relevant, they made sure to change that they always had.
Which is like looking at all the bastards though, the amount of them that don't have silver hair. Like, what were the genetic odds of all three of her bastard children? None of them having silver hair.
The Harwin Strong genes are just that strong. They're very strong genes.
Right, all these years.
They're very strong. Don't question them.
Payment was right.
So yeah, like I get what he's saying, but she could have probably did something else to like comfort him. She spoke all this from across the like survives. Rhaenyra said something about 20 years. Okay, yeah, I definitely get what he's saying in this scene, but like she probably could have comforted him more. She probably could have brought up different things of like, oh, this has made you more of like not legitimate, but like come off more, like he knows Valerian and things of that nature. He is her heir, which she did say. Like, I definitely get him, but it's like, what else would you have me do?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. It's like I get where he's coming from 100%, but it's also like, did she really have many other choices?
Like, she would have done better than Alicent would have done. Alicent would have dismissed him. That is very true.
Walked away in the middle of this talk.
Like, she would have just like turned and walked away.
And told him to get his shit together and walked away.
Do your part. Walk away.
Figure it out. Figure what out? I'm leaving.
Alright. So should we jump to the best scene of the show? Of the episode? Oh, before we get to that, because Dee and I had to pause it and figure out what the heck Hugh Hammer was talking about in this scene.
Dear God.
We had to, so...
No, it wasn't Hugh Hammer, it was the other guy.
It is Hugh Hammer.
Was it?
It's Hugh Hammer. Yeah, so he says, here, she used to tell me, I was no different to her brother's boys. I was no different to
We
her
had to create a family
brothers,
chart.
her brother's boys, which are Daemon and Viserys. So I have a handy dandy chart here. All right. Here is Viserys. Right here. There is no sister. I'm very confused. So I will go back and go over it again. He says she used to tell me I was no different to her brother's boys, Viserys and Daemon. So that would be the sister of Viserys. Brother's boy. No, sorry. It would be the sister of Jaehaerys.
Yeah, I was the sister of Viserys and Daemon.
Sorry, it's the sister of Jaehaerys, which is up here.
Yeah, his mom is the bastard sister. Exactly.
So can the bastards then have bastards that are... how far are we going here?
Well, yes, unless, what if both of his parents were bastards of the line?
Maybe, but we're also here. Let's also take it and have another thought.
Right.
Another thought. If if it's a bastard sister, right? That means Maegor either impregnated her, or Aenys did, or Aegon did. Two of these people are infertile, and Aenys is a anxious mess. So it makes no sense because there's no way that there's going to be a bastard sister. Maegor, like, a part of Maegor's story is he can't have children. Aegon also was very rumored to be, what is that word again? He can't have children. That's why there was rumors that Visenya made Maegor out of magic, and that, Rhaenys had an affair with a bard and had Aenys. So it doesn't make sense, and I'm gonna have to see somebody else who's much more deeper into this very specifics to figure out what's going on here. But they have made up characters in the Targaryen timeline that do not exist. What was it last week? Ariana Targaryen? Princess Ariana Targaryen? I mean, if his mom was half Targaryen, he's quarter, that's still good. Yeah, but my problem too is that there's nobody that could make a bastard child. Let me go back and look at this quick. Okay, so he can't have children. He's definitely not sleeping around. From everything we know of Jaehaerys and Alysanne, they had a good marriage. Now, I know Viserys and Daemon messed around, but this is probably the area where you're going to get the most bastards. Because I don't think there's going to be any coming up at this part. I'll have to I'll have to see what other people say about it, because I just can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah, that's fair.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Could she be Jaehaerys' sister? Jaehaerys doesn't have a sister. That's the problem. Because Jaehaerys married his sister. And these two, Jaehaerys' sister, Alysanne and Jaehaerys, they were, like, inseparable. So neither of these people are cheating. It'd be very out of character for him, for Jaehaerys. Like, sorry, he has a sister, but it's also his wife. It's hard. It's complicated with these Targaryens. Okay. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. But she's a bastard, so she wouldn't be on that chart. Yeah, but there's nobody that would bastard her from up here. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna see what other people say about it, and I'm gonna move on because it's just some kind. I think there's some kind of continuity error there. Okay. Unless some bastard came. No, because only the. Yeah, it's. Yeah. All right. So we will now go talk about the best scene of the episode, which is. Yeah, look how long this scene was. Jeez. This was such a drawn out scene of her just talking to him. Alright, let's talk about the best scene, which is her taking all the bastards and trying to claim Thermithor. This was by far probably one of the best scenes of the season, to be honest. There was lots of dragon action in it. Lots of deaths, which is very accurate to the book. They did cut a lot of the red sewing out, but there is more in the red sewing, but it seems like she went directly to King's Landing. It looks like that's what's going to be happening in the next episode. Am I correct there? Is that what we're all getting for at the end of that? The end of the episode is that she's at King's Landing, used Ulf to kind of drag out Aemond.
I believe so.
So we got to see Vermithor in action again, and just I said when I was watching the first guy go up there, because I know what happens, I was like, oh, I feel so bad for him. He looks so sweet. But I was like that last week too, with the Kingsguard. I'm like, he looks so sweet, please, no. We see, like, what kind of person Hugh Hammer is in this. Now, Hugh Hammer is very, very different in this versus his book counterpart, and I prefer this version of him, by far. It's just the best scene is, Vermithor's Dinton time. Yeah, he definitely got a lot of snacks that episode. Or this episode, like, he laughed though with the one person that he picked up in his mouth and started chewing and just kind of spat them out. He was like, no, this doesn't taste good. And then, like, they started crying on the ground and like, please. And then he's like, fine, and he toasts them. What were your thoughts on this scene? D?
The scene. I definitely think there was things that were very drawn out.
My theory is that the only reason Vermithor didn't eat Hugh is because he was full. I think he chose Hugh Hammer and like from the start.
He was just like, there's too many people in the way, and I don't want anyone to be confused about who I choose, so I'm going to kill every other choice.
Yeah, I'm going to kill them all. I don't know why Rhaenyra did it this way. Like, why did she take all the bastards in at once and cause a mass slaughter?
Listen, it would take a while to send them all, like...
I mean, I guess it's kind of smart, too, in a way, because, like, then it's like, okay, it kills everybody that, didn't make it, so they can't go rat on her to Aemond.
True. Because, yeah, if you see enough people get slaughtered, or you don't see anyone come back, or even, like, you're just waiting, and it's like, okay, you're up next. After however many people have gone in there, it's like, it's clear that the dragon hasn't chosen them, enough people are probably going to like freak out and bail. This
Yeah, I mean,
strategy
people.
prevents them from running off.
Well, Rhaenyra wasn't letting them leave. You saw like her queen's guard
Yeah.
preventing them from leaving the room.
Yep.
I would have liked it if they showed Vermithor looking at him, then roasting the other guy. Yeah, that would have been so funny if he did that. I really wish that they'd give Vermithor a tiny bit more personality. But I really liked this scene. The effects in this scene were amazing. As somebody who works in 3D, yeah, this was amazing. The amount of textures and stuff that they were able to get on Vermithor was just... What the heck is this? Alright. It's just incredible. I like the whole scene with Hugh Hammer when he's trying to protect people even though he is just as in line of danger as everybody else. Just shows what kind of person he is. And just his demeanor this whole part was just so good. Like, I really like his character in this episode and in this adaptation because, again, in the books, he's very different and he's not a good person. So I'm really glad that they went this direction with him.
Yeah. I agree. In general, I don't really ever think that giving people more depth is a bad idea.
Look at him, he's just a giant puppy! He's just a giant puppy! He's a big baby puppy. And he's so happy he claimed a dragon.
And she's like, oh, thank God, at least one of them succeeded.
At least one of them succeeded. And
I'm gonna have a hard time drawing in more bastards, so...
And then we saw Ulf the White fall down into the dragon's pit and accidentally step on dragon eggs. And for some reason, Silverwing was like, you know what, I vibe with that. And decided, I think it's a boy. He was just decided, hey, I'm gonna play with him. Like,
Gotta break.
Oh my gosh, Silverwing just pushing him over constantly, like nudging him like a cat or a dog is just hilarious, and I love that addition to them. It's so cute and precious. It looks like a big puppy. It's like I almost expected to lick him. Like it's just a giant puppy. He's just like, yeah, he is. It'll be interesting to see if they keep Hugh Hammer on the same track as in the book to give him a new story. I wouldn't be surprised if they took Hugh Hammer out of that storyline, but they can still do that same storyline because there's multiple people in that storyline that do what they do. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they do, because they're going to definitely change what happens with the dragon seeds. I'm actually very surprised we did not see Rhaena claim Chief Sealer this episode. Like, that's another thing that's, like, really long and drawn out, and I'm like, please, just do it already! Stop pushing this off. Like, we know that's what you're leading to. Just do it already. Ulf, he showed Silverwing his belly, and Silverwing was like, fine, I'll take care of the baby man. What if they just had Silverwing just like roll over like a puppy? That'd be so cute.
Baby.
Alright. And then at the end of the episode, we see Ulf the White fly over King's Landing. And other dragon seeds are there. Except for, like, at this point, he's really screwed because we have Cyrax. So, in this scene, she's gonna have Silverwing, Thermithor, and Sea Smoke, and then Cyrax. That's not including Bela, Jace, and Daemon. So that she has 7 dragons? I think. I really wish, like, maybe for... No, that'd be so weird with the timeline. I'm not sure how this is gonna work. Because it looks like they're already there in King's Landing, right?
That's what it looked like.
That's what it looks like. I wonder if they're trying to draw out Aemond. They shouldn't be. But I'm confused about where they're going with this because this is very different than in the book. In the book, we are jumping over a battle that is very important. Which I kind of predicted that they did go, or they were going to do, because it was too early for some things to happen with the pacing that they did. But it's gonna be interesting to see what it is, because it's definitely a deviation. I really want to see Helena mount her dragon, though. But yeah, he really needs Helena to get on her dragon at this point. Because Sunfire is out of commission. And what is this? What is that one? It starts with a T. Targaryen?
That's one of the names I can never remember.
He's not there yet. So they only really have Vhagar, who is already injured from battle. So he knows that they're going to be pretty screwed. But let's see, like, where they take it. I'm very looking forward to seeing what they do next episode, because it is going to be different from the books, which is very exciting. Very, very good episode. Okay. Who was your MVP for this episode?
MVP for this episode? Oscar.
Oscar's performance was really good this episode. My MVP for this episode is going to be Hugh Hammer.
Fair.
Which is something I never thought I would say, because I don't like him in the books, but he was really good this episode. I really like what they did with his character, and they added a lot more depth to him.
I think this is the first time my MVP has not been a Targaryen.
Oh yeah, it's a Tully. I don't know who the weakest the LVP would be this episode. What would yours be?
Alicent.
Yeah, we'll just give it to Alicent as default. I'm also giving Oscar the Grouch Tully. I'll give it to Alicent. She's being silly. It makes sense, but
she's running away.
She's basically running out.
She's really like, I don't know if I want to go back.
Yeah, I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Because everybody was really good this episode. Everybody was really good. Alicent was probably the weakest.
It would be better for Alicent's children if she didn't go back.
She should just go back to Hightower.
But after Darren comes out, we don't want them to intersect.
Well, he's on his way.
Yeah, we don't want their paths to cross. Keep her away from her children.
Keep her away from her children.
Special mention to Ghost Viserys.
Ghost Viserys. The LVP was Laris for mishandling the sea smoke info. At least look into it, man. Well, he doesn't want to help Aemond, so
yeah. Why are we helping Aemond? That doesn't help him. Hi, baby. Do you want to join?
But yeah, I think that I really see. If that was the only thing he did, I could see that. But I really liked his additional scenes of him helping Aegon and stuff like that, because that's also something that's not in the books. I really liked that part of it, so it's like really hard. Like, I would say Alicent, but there was a lot of possible MVPs this episode. It's a very good episode. But it is a lead-up episode, so next week we'll get more action from this episode. I really like the scenes of Corlys and the Hole brothers. Yeah, there was a lot of really good scenes this episode. There's a lot of build-up. This is what it should have been throughout the entire season. I don't mind no action in this. It's that the pacing is bad. Like, throughout the season, the pacing has been bad. Even in this episode, and this was a good episode, the pacing was bad. I don't know why they made some decisions that they did. Maybe I'll go look and see who the director of this is and do some comparing notes. But yeah, we get to come back. We're gonna come back next week with the finale. The finale. I'm very excited. I'm also very sad that we're gonna have to wait another 2 years for it, and it's kind of confusing to me because they were able to move Game of Thrones in a year, and that was a much longer season. We have a very limited episode seasons now, and we have more advanced technology, so I don't know why it's taking 2 years to do it, but that's what everyone's saying is going to take 2 years. We did hear that, though, that the other series, Dunk and Egg series, I believe is going to be at the beginning of next year, though. So we do have that to kind of hold us over. LVP goes to the director of this episode, not even the writers. Like, yeah, probably the director. The director is probably LVP of this episode, because it was just really long shots at points, and I'm like, come on. We don't need to keep staying on this shot. Alright, so we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys again next week. Yeah, we'll be here same time. Very looking forward to the finale. And yeah, have a good night, everyone.